All right, welcome back. Hello, and are you ready to learn today about the forest biome, the biome of the trees? Let's dive in. So, a forest is a biome that is full of trees. It's the only biome that is completely full of trees. Everywhere you look, there's a tree. If you're in a place where there's not much room between trees and you can probably count hundreds and hundreds of trees in front of you, then you know automatically you're in a forest. Forests are one of the most common biomes. They are probably right outside of your bedroom window, right? I can see forests from my house. We have forests all around us in this part of the world. But they truly do cover the whole entire planet. They cover up to 30% of our Earth. So you can find them on practically every continent, except for maybe Antarctica. So there's an image that shows you 30%. So it's not the whole Earth, right? But a lot of our planet is covered with forests. So there are 3 different types of forests. We have temperate forests, tropical forests, and boreal forests. Temperate, tropical, and boreal. Okay, and these are kind of based on temperature and location at the same time. So boreal forests are the really cold, frosty forests that you're going to find in the north, close to the Arctic, right? Mostly filled with snow, and it's hard to live there. Tropical forests are the hot, very rainy forests. Sometimes we call them a rain forest. We're going to talk about those tomorrow. And those you can find usually in the middle of the earth, right around the equator. So right where it's hottest. And then you have temperate forests, which we're going to talk about today. And temperate forests are kind of the medium or mild forest, which you can find in between the tropical and boreal forest. Okay, so pause your video. We're on question number 1 of your Google form. What are the 3 types of forests? What are the 3 types? And remember, if it's easier for you, you can just answer the questions on a piece of paper while you're watching the video. And then after the video is over, you can go back and fill in the answers on your Google form. So for some students, I know that's easier because you don't like switching in between your YouTube tab and your Google form tab. That's fine. If you'd rather write it on a piece of paper, totally fine with me. So the 3 types of forests are temperate, tropical, and boreal. Awesome. So our objective of today is I can describe the temperate forest biome. I can describe the temperate forest biome. So temperate forest. First, let's ask ourselves, what does that word temperate mean? Well, temperate means mild. So if tropical is hot and boreal is cold, then a temperate forest is it's the baby bear, right? Is the baby bear the one whose porridge is just right? It's the, in the story of Goldilocks, right? Temperate forest is the medium one, right in the middle. So in a temperate forest, it's never going to get too extreme. So it's unlike a rainforest, it's never going to get extremely hot. And unlike a boreal forest, it's never going to get extremely cold. So usually in a temperate forest, the temperatures stay around 70 degrees. They can get colder and they can get hotter, but on average, they average out to just about a very comfortable, very lovely 70 degrees. And as far as rainfall, a temperate forest is getting quite a lot of rain. Okay, not nearly as much as the rainforest, obviously, because the rainforest has the word rain in it, right? It's getting more rain than any other biome. But the temperate forest is getting still a substantial amount of moisture, right? And that makes sense. It wouldn't be able to grow all of these big, tall trees and support all of this life if it wasn't getting a lot of water. So 70 to 200 inches of rain, that's quite a lot. Let's take a quick look at a graph. Oh yeah, and that's per year, or we could say annually, right? That's usually how we measure rainfall in a biome, is how much rain are they getting every year. So here's a quick graph to show you the differences of rainfall in the different biomes, okay? Notice using your key that this purple color represents our temperate forest, okay? So out of all of the different types of biomes, the temperate forest is getting quite a lot more rain than other biomes like the desert or the grassland or the taiga or the tundra. The only biome that beats the temperate forest is which one? Blue, which is the rainforest. Okay, so this is just a really quick graph. It's missing a title, but I just wanted to show you that this bar represents the temperate forest and shows you that its temperate forest is getting quite a lot more rain than almost every biome. Okay, so tell me, go ahead and pause your video and let's answer question number 2. What is a synonym for temperate? When I say temperate forest, what does that mean? All right, and when you're ready, you come back and press play, and you should have written something like mild or medium, right? A temperate forest doesn't hit any extremes. It stays about 70 degrees. It gets an average amount of rain, okay? It's moist and mild in a temperate forest. So, temperate forests have, let's talk about some of their traits and some things that all temperate forests have in common. Okay, and by the way, when we say that a temperate forest is mild, that doesn't mean that it never gets cold or hot there. It does sometimes get cold and it does sometimes get hot. It just doesn't hit the extremes of the tropical or the boreal forest. Okay, so everything is relative. Remember, sometimes when we say hot or cold, it means something different to each person. Okay, so temperate forests, what do they all have in common? First thing and most important thing about a temperate forest is that they all have 4 seasons. Now, what are the 4 seasons? I wonder if you know them already. If you know them, say them out loud to yourself right now. Excellent, good job. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Those are your 4 seasons. What season are we in right now? Yes, we're in spring right now. Starting to feel like summer, but it's still springtime. So here's a quick image of the 4 seasons. You've got winter, you've got spring, you've got summer, you've got fall. So tell me really quickly on your Google form or on a piece of paper, what are the 4 seasons? So temperate forests go through these 4 seasons, which means that they go through a lot of changes throughout the year. You already know that in the winter time, most trees in a temperate forest have lost a lot of their leaves. There are some pine trees and evergreen trees which keep their needles, but a lot of trees lose their leaves. The deciduous trees do. And then in the springtime, that's the time for the trees in the forest to start budding again. They start growing their leaves and growing flowers and start to grow their fruit. And then in the summertime is when they reach maturity and their fruit ripens and all of their leaves are fully grown and the trees are just thriving with all of the sunshine and the moisture. And then in the fall, a lot of deciduous trees will start to change color. Their leaves will turn yellow or orange or red. I love the fall for these colors. And then, as you know, they'll start to lose their leaves, okay, as the trees go dormant for the winter. And the trees aren't really dying in the fall. They're just going to sleep, just conserving energy. It's kind of like hibernating, right? A lot of living things in a temperate forest have adapted to these cycles, to these rhythms, right? Winter, spring, summer, fall, winter, spring, summer, fall. And because it's much harder to survive in the winter than it is in the summer, animals have learned, and plants have learned, how to rest and sort of go into like a sleep mode or a quiet mode during the winter. That way they can conserve their energy until there's more food and more light available for the plants. Okay, so you already told me the 4 seasons are winter, spring, summer, and fall. And that's something that all temperate forests have in common. They go through this cycle. Okay, so temperate forests also have an abundance of wildlife. Lots and lots of living things in the temperate forest. That's because it's pretty easy to live in a place that has mild temperatures and lots of plants and animals, right? Lots of water, lots of plants, and that means lots of food, right? So an abundance just means a lot. It means extra or overflow. And as you can see in the forest, right, there's so many living things crowded together. Because of the mild temperatures, because of the variety of plants and animals that can survive here, there are just so many living things who make their home in the forest. So we have, I'll just give you a quick smattering of examples. Remember, there's millions of different species of living things in a temperate forest. So here's just a quick sample of some of the forest creatures that you might know and love. Bears, and then there's a baby bear. Wolves make their home in the temperate forest. You can kind of see the trees in the background. Deer. He's an impressive one with his antlers. Bobcats. Foxes. And, of course, my favorite, squirrels. Oh, there's another squirrel. And another one just for good measure. You know, I can't resist a cute squirrel picture. Also, smaller animals like rabbits, and the things that eat squirrels and rabbits like owls and eagles. Right? So all sorts of creatures, and there's hundreds more. There's hundreds more creatures in the forest besides these ones. But these are some of the most common and might give you a sense for the types of animals who live there. Lots and lots of mammals, from small mammals to big mammals. Okay, and then also obviously birds and some reptiles and amphibians. Rarely fish unless you have, a lake or a river going through your forest. But it's mostly mammals and birds who are finding their homes here. Okay, so question number 4 on your Google form. Why is there an abundance of wildlife in the forest? Why is there an abundance of wildlife? Good job. And the answer is because there's so much food and water available, right? If there's lots of, and because the temperature makes it easy to survive there. So when there's so much sunlight and so much water and the temperature is nice and mild, that means that living things can absolutely thrive there. And if plants can live there, then animals who eat plants can thrive there. And if animals who eat plants can thrive there, then animals who hunt other animals can also thrive there, right? So the whole food chain is plentiful in the forest. Anytime that there's lots of plants and lots of water, you're going to have lots of animals too. Okay, so let's review. Temperate forests have 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall, also called autumn. And then they have an abundance or a lot of wildlife. Finally, temperate forests have a combination of different kinds of trees. You have deciduous trees and coniferous trees. What's the difference between those? So deciduous trees are the kinds of trees that change color and lose